We are Blenderstyle, and we have a monster album review for you today. On this episode, No Terror in the Bang, Heal, released in 2024. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, dudes.
Can't get much happier than that, Matt.
This album came out in January, and I'm always excited to start checking out the new albums each year because it kind of dies down in December. So albums in January usually get my attention because I listen to a lot of them. We reviewed Anachronism, Meander. That was a January album. Had that come out in like November or something, I probably wouldn't have caught it because I'm like exhausted of listening to all the music by then. But this one, it was listed as cinematic metal on whatever.
I saw that.
I was like, oh, so I thought, is it symphonic metal? It is not. I was like, oh, is it like soundtrack stuff? It's not that either. It's more of like an opera or like a musical, but it's metal, right?
It's a metal American Idiot.
It's like a wrong album. It's like new metal or like, but like progressive metal. Homegirl's doing a lot of different voices on this.
She's doing a lot of lyrics.
And it was different. And so I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. So I wanted to see what the boys thought. And, you know, we got to do a couple new albums instead of doing shit from our childhood. I've never heard of this band. This is their second album.
Yeah, I never.
They're from France.
This is from my childhood. All the way back in January.
I'm 100% sure.
Time warped. Yeah.
So you threw this out there and the first track kicked off and I was kind of like, okay, that's cool. But then it kind of like grew on me. I really like all the little synth stuff that they throw in and the space.
Lots of electronic bits.
Yeah, lots of little electronic and the vocal, like her vocal delivery on this shit.
Her vocals are the highlight for me.
I touched on this on another episode where I was talking about how Lynn's vocal delivery in Snot was very odd to me when I first heard him. She shoves so many words in there that I watched lyric videos and I couldn't follow along with it.
Dude,
yeah, she
Monster
does those.
Literally has the most funniest sounding vocals I've ever like. It's cool build up, but I just wrote like the funniest vocals ever. Dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's kind of all over the place.
You think it's funny? Like
yeah. Dude, well, okay, so that's a downfall for me is that she is doing so much different stuff. Like, I mean, she could do but she could do like half of those vocals. Like she did.
Yeah.
Well, it's over the top, right? Because it's she'll do like little kid sounds. And then she'll do like hag vocals and then like kind of everything. And it's like she's purposely making it sound like very, like it's almost like doing characters.
Yeah. So the vocals for this were like the highlight, one of the highlights for me. I love the vocals. I had a hard time with the delivery, like the words and stuff.
Because sometimes she'll like she'll do runs.
Yeah, she'll run so much together. Then her accent on some of it, you're just like, what did she just say?
Right. Her pronunciation's weird.
It's like you're listening to somebody from New Orleans or from Louisiana trying. Remember X-Men the cartoon, Gambit?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's an over-the-top kind of Creole accent thing going on, and she's totally French.
X-Men theme music was sick.
But I love the space that they give between like the guitar riffs and stuff is really cool because like there's this really clean break in between stuff. They don't do a lot of ringing out, which I think is really cool.
Well, I want to touch on, you said that like how she does those runs and like to me that's where it's like cinematic. She's like, if you ever been to a play where like the music's like they're singing but she needs to say something, so she'll kind of like break the music to get it almost out. Like great character. I like that about it because it's very intentional. It's not sloppy.
No, it's not sloppy. I don't like it because I have a hard time following what she's saying.
Like maybe too many. Maybe have less characters in your story.
Is this just too many things, Nathan? It's like a lot.
Well, you know,
this is a lot. There's like glitchy stuff that's not necessary.
I love the glitchy stuff.
Me too.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay, so like I'll name a track specifically. Okay. Lulled by the Waves, right? The instrumentation like starts like almost kind of like a Bjork vibe, right? and her vocals are good, things are flowing, and then it just goes into this cliche heavy. Like I literally like, it's just so cliche. Like it just, it's not.
It does have that a little bit.
It's nothing. I think the parts that shine are actually the softer, more synthier parts. Like I like found myself vibing to that, and then when it went into this metal, I was just like, no, it's not good.
You don't think it's like creative enough on the metal side? Because it is kind of generic.
It just sounds like everything that's coming out. Everything sounds like it's been put through something. It's just
like there's a really heavy processing on it. Kind of
yeah, it's just not really. I'm not really into it, and like, there's no like crazy. There is guitar work and stuff like that. I'm not saying, but the main parts are just like being heavy.
But it's also like not that kind of band. Like they're not a melodic death metal band where they're like trying to write riffs. You know what I mean?
I get that.
They're doing this other stuff, and it's like I think it helps make the hooks more like predictable, so they kind of hit hard. You know what I mean? And if you're like experiencing a play or whatever, you can kind of feel the build up come up, and then the main character, like, and things happen. I don't know why I keep relating it to that. Like, that's the way I kind of hear it or whatever. But the way it's like interesting to me is the arrangement. They don't play like normal songs.
No.
There's no like, the arrangements are really interesting, and it like helps the heavy parts pay off a little more than that, because it's not like generic heavy. They go slow and then it's heavy again. Slow,
yeah, there's not that
like Disturbed or some shit, right? That's just
there's not that formula that they follow.
So when like the heavy parts come up, they are kind of cliche. I will totally agree with that. But I think how they arrange it all really works in this.
You like that the cliche heavy is a pop out scare.
It is that. I will. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're like it's kind of cheesy or whatever.
I think, like I said, I think there's like so much more. Like if I was like the manager, the person next to these people, I'd be like, just ditch these guys. We got this whole other thing you can do, operatic. We could get synthesizers.
I'll get so much money.
Yeah. We'll get somebody to direct it that smokes 30 cigarettes in a minute. It'll be great.
See, my issue with this is this is kind of along the lines of what a lot of bands are doing now, where they have to have this gimmick, like a theatrical metal band or a steampunk metal band or whatever.
That's kind of true.
And
they don't have like ridiculous costumes.
They don't have the ridiculous costumes, but they have that theme. And if they would just,
I'm sure these people look ridiculous.
And if they would just be metal,
that's cool. They look cool.
It'd just be metal and let the metal speak for itself. It'd be cool. I don't like the spoken word parts. That bugs the crap out of me.
Like the little whispering.
Yeah, because all I could think of is like, oh, cool, it's in this moment when they got shitty.
She's like, I don't know what to do right there.
I'll whisper. But it's like
I've done every fucking hat out of the hat.
But it's all this like weird instrumentation going on, and then like all the guitars and everything cut out. It's just like synth and
so
like,
is that guy.
It just sounds, and then this chick talking under her breath, like you said. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, cool, it's in this moment. It's like they're just taking it and stealing it.
Yeah, I feel like they've been doing this. Like, I think that's metal like this harsh, has been around for.
Comparing this to In This Moment, I like In This Moment.
I'm not comparing it to good In This Moment. The new In This Moment, that's not good.
Oh, come on.
But that didn't distract me from the first couple times I listened to it, I was like, oh, I'm not sure. But then I caught myself going back to it. And I will say it's like the first like 4 tracks, maybe the 5th track, and then after that I'm just kind of like, this album just totally lost all
I like
momentum. And it's not even long. It's like only 45 minutes for being an operatic thing.
Yeah, 46
like
minutes.
It loses me numerous times.
Yeah, it really does.
When you're listening to something, and you're like, yes, and then you go. Like that's.
Yeah.
This is a hard one.
So what do you rate it then, Nathan?
Yeah.
I give it a 3.4.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty decent.
So you think it's okay?
I give it a 3.0. Yeah, I give it a 3.0.
All right, that's fair.
So you really loved it.
Yeah.
That's it? You're not going to give us a reason?
Well, I already did. the
We had a
cliche,
format of our show. I
Yeah,
know.
I think we did.
The guitar parts, the heavy guitar parts, I didn't like. I didn't like that she was trying to do way too many different vocal things. Like, I think I like that it's diverse and stuff, but to me, like, there was so much better stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that makes it frustrating.
Okay.
Because there's like potential, maybe,
Yeah, or something.
if they replace some band members.
And the name.
And the name. You don't like the name No Terror in the Bang?
I like where they got it from,
Yeah.
but this sounds like Panic at the Disco. Not the band, but the name.
No.
Oh, okay.
That
I was like, that's a stretch, but okay.
I can kind of see, I guess.
Start singing.
Casey, No Terror in the Bang.
I gave it a 3.8. I actually kind of liked it. I didn't like the second half of the album. Like I said, I feel like the heavier stuff was really good. Unlike Nathan, I liked all the different vocal stuff she's doing, but I didn't like how she tried to cram all those words in there sometimes. It's like she's trying to. It's almost like they wrote the music and then she's like, oh, I'm going to write like a 28-page manuscript on how this is going to go for every single song.
Or she fucking wrote the lyrics, right? And then she like refuses to take words out.
Yeah. She's like,
It's like, I bet
like, you could take 2 words out and say the same thing pretty much.
Yeah.
She's like, no. I must talk about how it's round, a sphere, a sun, a ball shape,
a globe.
solo cup.
so, just naming things in the room. Why ain't got many balls in here?
Frenchman.
French fry. But yeah, so to me it's good, but it loses itself halfway through. And it almost has like an identity crisis in a way, where it wants to be something, but it doesn't know how to be that. And so they just kind of throw a whole bunch of ideas and kind of see what sticks. It's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're a young band.
Okay.
This is only their second album. I think they're still searching for that sound.
Maybe. I did read that their first album was like almost completely different from this, and I didn't listen.
They're trying
to
to figure out how to get rid of the no terror and just drop the
it is different.
Terror in the Bang.
This one's more ambitious. They're like clearly trying something different, and I give them fucking props for it, dude. I liked it. I give it a 4.3 out of 5.
Nice.
I think it's very interesting. I think it's original. I like the vocal variety. Like a lot of times I'll listen to like bands and it just has the one mode of vocals.
Yeah.
And sometimes it sucks, and this is like the other spectrum of it, and I appreciate it for what it is.
I like listening to it. I knew that you liked it. Not, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I could tell, because you picked stuff that kind of like the female vocal. You like a lot of
like that pirate band?
Yeah, no. Pirate band.
What?
Yeah, the one with the chick who sang about like being on a pirate ship or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, but you know what I mean? That's cool. I definitely... can't I shouldn't knock it. You know, I like that they're doing what they want to do. It's just the certain parts I just can't.
Just not for you.
Yeah, they're pretty underground, so check them out, give them some love. We are Blenderstyle. That was No Terror in the Bang. Heal, released in 2024. Like and subscribe. Let us know what else we should review in the comments. Thanks, guys.